Obviously, just a really disappointing effort there at the finish, you know, and yeah, just disgusted with the way this team finished the game. And there's ownership all the way around for that. But I thought in the first half, you know, the defense showed some fight. We weren't able to get anything going offensively. In the first drive, I felt like we were having some rhythm there, and then had the bad snap that put us behind the chains. You know, in halftime it was 13-0. It felt like coming out, you know, have an opportunity there with possession of the ball to score and to put some pressure on South Carolina. Obviously, we came up short on that first drive on fourth down, and then in their return possession, we had a third down wrapped up that just got past us, and then a spatial tackle missed there for the first touchdown. Second defensive drive on the second play, they were able to break a run out that was bottled up. You got to give them credit for finishing on the play. Again, I don't think that represents a lack of effort or intention on our end. It's, you know, their guy made a play and we weren't able to down it. But to finish that game is disgusting. You know, the pump block for a touchdown, 2 short fields on turnovers, and just, you know, having guys at the point of attack to finish and having tackles run through, you know, reminded me of the way we finished games a year ago, and that's really disappointing because I thought that we had moved beyond that. Again, you got to credit South Carolina for winning in 3 phases today. That's for sure. And then we have to look in the mirror and we have to challenge each other and be honest with each other about the way that game was finished. Vanderbilt football doesn't give up, doesn't quit. And it's not everybody, but there's varying levels of commitment there at the end that I feel like, again, I reject, and I think we need to be honest about, because everyone deserves better than that. So with that, I'm happy to open up for questions.
The first drive after, you know, getting the bad snap and going second and 24, I think, and then calling the run plays, was that another trying to play for kind of a punt and for field position, or?
On third down?
Second and third down.
After the bad snap, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're trying not to make, again, you had 24 yards. Now sometimes you might get a look where they're playing coverage and you have a chance to crease a run. Once you get into third and long, you got a high pressure situation where, you know, you're trying to play for the next possession. And, you know, we haven't had a great run in protection, and, you know, it's, you know, we have to be able to shorten the game for us to be effective, and we weren't able to do that, you know, by maintaining the possession. I did think we generated the stops defensively. Obviously got the turnover, but that's the thought process there.
The weather being what it was, did that affect the way that the game was called at all?
I think it affected some elements of, you know, being able to throw the ball or being able to get the snap exchanges. I know, obviously, you know, there's a thought process to kick a field goal in that first possession in the second half. I just felt like where we had the ball and playing to win the game, we needed to try to come away with 7 points. You know, but also I haven't seen them, you know, had trouble with the extra point snap. I just, you know, it's, and again, the block punt was a bad snap. You know, it's just those things factor in, but the circumstances of weather, we have to play to a standard beyond that. So, you know, we need to be ready for that and handle it better.
With the struggles of both quarterbacks today, was there any thought of going back to AJ?
Yeah, I don't know that that was going to be the thought today. Just, you know, we're working him back in. I mean, he was available to play. I think we have to look at it moving forward into our final game and say what gives us the best chance. I don't know that, you know, obviously the quarterback position gets the most scrutiny. I think when you're turning the ball over at that position, you're keeping the team from the performance they need to win. I did not feel like Ken was forcing things. I thought he was making good decisions. You know, at times, you know, we're not creating the space that we need on the perimeter. with the way that the routes are run or how we're attacking coverages. I think there's a lot to look at that way to say how do we get the passing game better. The one thing Walt gives us is an element of quarterback run, which can lighten the box. But I don't look at our performance today and say that necessarily it falls on Ken's shoulders. I think right now it's, hey, how are we designing wins? How are we executing those wins on the field? And I appreciated the fact that when he was in there, he took care of the ball and gave us a chance to punt. We were able to get him pinned a couple times, and again, when you do that, you create some advantages for yourself as a team. We didn't play well enough to take advantage of those.
Clark, you talked about the ownership and accountability out there at times. Is that what these next couple of weeks are going to be about for you and for this team, rather more so than X's and O's? Just kind of that building a foundation for what's next.
Yeah, we gotta look at the foundational elements of our team. And again, these guys have gone through a tough season, and I in so many ways admire the way that they've stayed in that fight and the energy that they've brought every day. I think there's a lot there that right now you can disconnect with because we're just in pain. And I told the team, listen, I don't care if it's 1 point or 40 points. We play a certain way, and so I think the next couple weeks give us a chance to confront that. I think it gives us a chance to be honest about it, to point it out on film where we see that it didn't show up for us today, and then turn the page from this one and focus on how we finish the season the right way. Because in this league, when you don't compete, we don't finish the right way. Teams are going to have a chance to separate from you. And again, the sequences at the end. Obviously they had the two touchdowns on tackling issues. Then the defense settled back in. We got the touchdown offensively. We come out and generate a stop defensively, and then there in the fourth quarter you see a block punt for a touchdown where it was rolled back to the punter. The turnover to create a short field, and then we had another touchdown on third down there. So it just, the bottom fell out, and that's what it looks like and feels like. And I think in every way it's not just about the players. It starts with the coaches. It starts with who's out there and why. It starts with how is our team inspired to finish. But yeah, certainly we're going to look at the last 2 weeks as an opportunity to galvanize and to dive deeper into the foundation, to set a course for what we want to see as we turn the page on the year. And obviously I'm upset right now, and I'm upset about the way we finished that game is upsetting to me. And so we'll need to turn the page on it and focus on Tennessee as quickly as we can.
What do you think is the biggest thing that needs to change to avoid another finish to the game like that one?
Again, I would just go back to when you have sequences of block, punt, turnover, you're setting yourself up for a tough finish. And there's short fields there, but again, we get them to third down. They throw the one-on-one. And got behind us. We get them to third down, and the quarterback runs the ball through a tackle. Those are execution points. So for as much as I'd like to see us finish possessions in the end zone with an extra point kick or a punt, when you turn the ball over, especially when you turn it over on the plus side of the field, you put yourself in a tough position. On the flip side, we got them to third downs. Now we got to execute, and so to avoid the finish, look, we're a better team than that. To avoid that finish, we got to play to our highest level for 4 quarters, period. And we didn't do that today, and we feel the feeling coming off that game of what it is when in this league when you don't finish the right way.
Yeah, Ken, what do you think was the primary culprit behind the offensive struggles today?
We were battling some conditions early, so I think just trying to get our feet down, establish some rhythm, which we weren't able to do, and I think we struggle whenever we don't get some rhythm initially. So just finding a way to get the chains moving and execute in the red zone, keep a drive alive.
Yeah, you mentioned struggling when you don't get into a rhythm early. Why do you think that is, and what needs to change in order to fix that, I guess?
We just got to keep doing our jobs. We're one guy away. It can't be 10 out of 11. It's got to be 11 out of 11. So just making sure that each play I'm making the right points, making the right reads, putting the ball where it needs to be, especially in that first half. There's more I can do out there. There's more for us out there as an offense. So.
What are the most difficult parts of playing in that sort of weather?
Just the ball's wet.
And then, what was it that kind of just led to, I guess, the deflected passes and the drops and all those sort of, was that just due to the slippery ball?
I didn't really feel like there was many drops, honestly. I thought we made some pretty incredible catches today. Some guys bailing me out of some risky throws, off-target throws, and then the batted at the line stuff. There's things I can do to help that. Find a window to throw, and so whether that's up front or on me, like we got to find a way to make that happen. So there's more I can do.
Anything else? Can't thank you.
Thank you.
What did you see on that play where you got the interception?
I was just reading off the quarterback and just playing off him and just playing the ball.
What was it that led to South Carolina's big plays in the second half?
I think we could just do a better job of just tackling the ball, capping shots. So just the little details, we can hone in on those and do better as a team.
Was there a difference in kind of the team's mood, I guess, from the first half to the second half for the effort level?
No, I don't think. I think the effort was there. I think we could have finished the game better, but I think we can always do better. So.
And what do you think are the biggest keys to kind of avoid something like the second half, happening again when you guys play Tennessee?
I think just doing our jobs consistently, just as a defense, just speaking for the defense. I think we can just do better just doing our jobs consistently.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you.